Alright, we're in Galveston now, and this is an ocean called the Ocean Star. It's an oil rig museum, and I managed to miss the opportunity to get to go see the oil rig museum, but I can give you some idea of what we're talking about just from looking at it here. Remember when we were in Luling and I showed you the wooden drilling platform? Well, here's a drilling platform that's set up to go on the ocean. If you look at the round pillars, those are designed to sink down into the ocean bed and hold that thing suspended while production takes place. When they're done, they pull the legs up out of the ground or the water or whatever's underneath, and it floats to the next location and begins drilling. Let's take a look at some other drilling rigs while we're here. Out here in the bay, when it isn't profitable to be drilling, the big oil companies, the production companies, the drilling companies stow their rigs in big bays and harbors and ports. And what we're looking at here are oil platforms that are designed for drilling in the ocean, specifically in the Gulf of Mexico, parked and on standby until they're required for another project. Again, you can see the structures on this one. This time they're a formed metal, but those legs go down into the ocean bed and it suspends that thing up in the air. Deepwater Horizon wasn't like this. Deepwater Horizon was a self-propelled oil rig. That means that it had its own propellers and props and guidance, and it propelled itself out into the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of these rigs are designed to be towed out there by tugboats. These are shallow water rigs where they're going down only far enough where they can tag the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico and suspend it. And I thought you might be interested to see these rigs. There'll be more of them if the moratorium goes through, because they won't be using them. In the 1970s, when it wasn't profitable to drill, the oil companies, drilling companies went overseas, and all this equipment was cut up and sold for scrap. They rebuilt in the Reagan era. So here's just some of them, and I'm sure in bays and coves throughout the Gulf you'll see more. Looks like it's old.
It is. It's from the 40s.
Your boat's from the 40s? Have you always been in Galveston?
That boat has, yeah.
That boat has?
And my captain, he just bought that boat right after the storm.
After Ike, right?
Yeah, he bought that. Put a lot of money into it.
That thing's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
that's all wood, ain't it?
Yeah. It's real nice on the inside. Put about $6 grand on the inside. Looks like a yacht in there.
Is it diesel?
Yep.
So, do you guys have other opportunities if the shrimp ain't hitting? Do you have other stuff you can go hit?
Not really.
Not really?
No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm allergic, man, so, you know, it's kind of a drag, you know, hearing about it. I'm sorry for y'all, I surely am.
Well, it runs all year, but they migrate. They migrate from the north to the east to the west. They go from way far east all the way north.
You're saying they're coming from, like,
the
Delta area?
Yeah, the east, real
right.
Far east, and they go all the way to Mexico.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
So, do they go all the way to Florida, do you think?
Yeah, right through Florida, right down to Mexico. Right now that, you know, with the oil, but I don't know what's going on. I think the oil had a lot to do with it.
You think so?
Well, I'm going to be traveling that way. I'm going to ask around.
Well, I mean, it's closed in Louisiana and Florida right now.
They open in some places up, I hear, but
it's been closed ever since the oil spill.
The fishermen, the shrimpers,
Shrimp
the people
and fish.
making their living in the Gulf.
Closed up.
but it hasn't been that way here, right?
Now it's in Texas.
Has there been any oil show up here?
No.
Well, that's good. So when they get here, they got clean water to be in, so.
They claim to bring it in on these ships right there, like the Del Monte ship. bringing the oil in.
They're bringing the oil in the bottoms. It's sticking to the...
Yeah, they call it oil balls.
Right.
Go along the ship.
Are they doing anything to clean the ships?
Oh, I don't know.
See, I've been hearing, like in the Gulf area, what they've been doing is they've been, when they go in and out of the oil, they've been having areas where they got pumpers and hoses and they're spraying the oil off of the sides of the ship. Apparently, you haven't heard of nothing like that here, huh?
Well, no, they're keeping it pretty quiet.
Yeah.
News media don't even know who NOAA is or BP. You know, they come down here. They've been down here. They ain't been down here for the last 2 weeks, but 2 weeks ago they were down here.
2 weeks ago there was media and now there's nobody.
No, there ain't nobody. They were thick down here 2 weeks ago. Up on the seawall up there.
Yeah.
They were real thick. 45 News, 26 News.
But that's all local. Were you getting any national stuff?
No.
No.
No, that's all local. But, no, I don't know why the shrimp ain't there. I mean, some people just went out. Captain T just came in. Tony 2 just come in. They were out there 2 days. They come in with 700-800 pounds. That ain't nothing.
That ain't shit, man. I'm used to seeing fucking just racks of it. Everybody here with...
Yeah, that ain't nothing.
Yeah.
No, that ain't nothing.
What do you get running in the wintertime?
Right out here.
Same thing?
Golf, yeah. We don't have a bay license. We only got a golf license.
So you got to go out into the Gulf.
Florida.
Right.
What, past the 5 mile line.
Well, you think they'll change the licensing if...
No, you just got to buy that license.
I got you.
The guy sold it.
Right. Does it kind of come with the boat?
Yeah, it comes with the boat.
Right.
The guy sold his bay license.
So if you want the bay license, you got to buy the bay boat.
$40,000.
Yeah, it'd be like...
No, you don't have to buy the boat. I can buy a bay license, but it's $40,000.
Yeah.
He sold that off that boat.
Wow.
That's what makes the boat, the license.
Yeah, there's only so many fishermen. It's a tight group, man. These guys all know each other.
Yeah, they're not.
It's like the most dangerous catch, except it ain't quite so dangerous.
$10,000 without the license.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you talking at me. But they're probably South America if they're unloading bananas. They're unloading bananas, and that's from Del Monte. So wherever Del Monte's bringing in bananas, if they're dragging through that water, they're dragging it here, right?
Yeah.
I don't imagine how they couldn't. I mean, if it...
And then another thing they do too, they pump water in their ship.
Right.
They level it out.
Right.
When they get in close like this, they got to discharge it. They're pumping that water right into the ship. They'll level it out in the oil, and then they got to pump it right out
in the bay. And all these $40,000 licenses
are worthless if they keep doing that shit.
They got to do. They have to do it.
Well, they have to do it, but they shouldn't be pulling water out of the
they have to do it.
Wow. No, well, I'll tell you what, I haven't.
Charge it here before they come in here.
Yeah. So how far out?
Oh, I wouldn't know where they come from. I don't know where they do that. Imagine out there in the ship channel, if something like that has to be. They can't come here on their own power.
Right.
They have to come in on.
So the Port Authority grabs them up front, and they go through something up there, and
they pump it all out to level the ship out, so it won't be so heavy.
Right, because it's too shallow.
It's only 25 foot up.
Right. Remember what I told you when we were crossing that? That I'd be if I jumped.
Unload everything they can in order to get in here, so they don't get stuck.
Right.
Unload all that water that's there.
You know, I'll tell you what, nobody.